Greetings, my name is Drew Colgrove, and this is my Language Arts video presentation for Education 632, Literacy and Language Instruction, at Liberty University during the Fall 2020 semester. I'd first like to thank you and welcome you to this informative discussion on dramatic representation in the classroom as an effective use of visual language for student learning. It is in my opinion that using theater devices in the classroom is often overlooked, and I hope to make a strong case for why and how it can be a powerful tool for both the academic and social-emotional education of every student. At the end of this presentation, my goal is for you to have achieved the following 3 learning outcomes. 1. What dramatic representation is and how to use it in the classroom as a method for visual language. 2. The academic education benefits for students of dramatic representation in the classroom. And 3. The social-emotional education benefits for students of dramatic representation in the classroom. So let's get started with the first question. What is dramatic representation? A dramatic representation is the use of visual language, either through a speech, acting, or performance, in order to convey information in a meaningful way. The best way to describe a dramatic representation is basically the use of theater devices in the classroom as a way of presenting, communicating, and demonstrating knowledge about a specific subject. According to Tompkins, when students use theater in the classroom, they are using both logical and creative thinking and directly engaged in the lesson. Dramatic representation can be used through improvisation, a spontaneous theatrical activity where students assume roles and act out those roles given only their prior knowledge or knowledge just learned. They are usually quick or low-pressure activities that actively engage students and focus on learning as opposed to performance level. Improv can be used as a way of checking student learning by having students summarize stories, having them assume roles of a character in a story, or by demonstrating a process of steps. Another way of exploring topics in the classroom is by establishing a certain situation or hypothetical environment for students to assume a role in and act out. Through dramatic interaction with other students, students can process the events and key points of a topic in an interactive way. Puppet making is another key aspect of dramatic representations, where students are tasked with creating puppets or representations of a character in a story and reenacting that story. By observing the details that students put into their puppets and their puppets' voices, they can convey information about their students' understanding. Other examples of dramatic representation in the classroom include analyzing film versions of books taught in class, acting out fairy tales or plays, or creating a dramatic performance on the plant life cycle or human digestive system. Dramatic representation has many academic benefits, such as storytelling, where students grapple with different elements of storytelling that help teach them how to convey information in an orderly and cogent fashion, or stimulate imagination, where students are able to express creativity and explore different ways of representing information through increasingly creative means. Problem solving, where students are able to understand conflicts in a deeper way that fosters better decision-making in possible similar situations. Students who engage in dramatic activities, especially ones that require memorization and rehearsal, learn about the performance process, which will prepare them for future projects, assignments, or extracurricular activities in the future. There are also social-emotional benefits to using dramatic representation in the classroom. Empathy. By acting out the emotions of a character, students are required to step into the character's shoes and understand their perspective. Communication. Students are required to engage with other students during these activities and properly convey appropriate information to each other in order for a dramatic representation activity to be successful. By physically acting out emotions of characters, students are constantly being made aware of the emotions or tones associated with certain phrases or situational contexts. The use of dramatic representations has a lot of room for differentiation among students of various learning needs. For example, the roles in which a student plays can be as simple as displaying a certain emotion, or as complicated as arguing from an assumed point of view. The use of small groups can be organized in a way to assist student learning. And as observed, dramatic representations can be appropriate across all grade levels, so the ability to differentiate instruction is quite accessible. Let's take a look at some studies that discuss the benefits of dramatic representation in the classroom. The first is Play Links by Deborah McLaughlin, which was a qualitative study where elementary schools were partnered with local theaters to engage in a 3-part artist-led workshop, where students participated in a pre-performance, performance, and post-performance workshop. The particular workshop done in the study focused on teaching storytelling. Through observational analysis of the student participation, student learning, and the impact on teachers, the study concluded 3 important takeaways. 1. Theatrical integration increased student engagement and participation. 2. students improved cognitively by demonstrating their comprehension of storytelling in the post-workshop. And 3, teachers benefited by having an engaging reinforcement of curriculum content, particularly in language arts, social studies, drama, and character education. Theater Devising by G. Goebel was an informative discussion about the benefits of using theater devices in the non-theater classroom as a way of receiving, processing, researching, creating, and performing knowledge. The article focuses on a specific activity for middle and high school students called theater devising that consists of developing, rehearsing, performing, and reflecting on an original script that fits within a curriculum unit or theme. 1. That the use of theater activities in non-theater classroom is a powerful pedagogical approach to teaching and learning. And 2. Theater devising specifically engages students in a positive learning environment, fostering effective learning, metacognition, and language arts skills. Thank you for listening to my presentation about dramatic representation.